those better days weren't good enough. You lit a fire that burned me down. Now down and out's where I'm ending up. You take me back to much better days, but those better days weren't good enough. You lit a fire that burned me down. Now down and out's where I'm ending up. Please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. You better come around. I won't come around. Said I'm a letdown, headed for a meltdown. Loaded but I ain't rich, stuck with a death wish. I couldn't change if I wanted to. I couldn't save you when I needed to. On my phone, here we go. Please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. You better come around. I won't come around.
I bought a bike today, and now I ride it around town. I wave to all the friendly people, and I listen to all the town sounds. I am an upstanding citizen, cut my grass when it's too high. I put my cans out on collection day, and I cross my fingers when I lie. Now I only watch the movies where the villain gets the girl, and I only read the books about the end of the world. God, I used to be so serious, don't remember what for. I exhale in a parallel scene. I got so high today, I could barely see the ground. I wave to all the tiny people, but they never even made a sound. I am a cold-blooded amphibian, living in paradise. I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't true. I cross my heart and hope to die. Now I only watch the movies where the villain gets the girl, and I only read the books about the end of the world. God, I used to be so serious, don't remember what for. I exhale in a parallel scene, so cue the title screen. Am I carrying the Truman Show? Or maybe Gyllenhaal and Donnie Darko? This is the perfect script, and damn, I'm loving it. I don't believe in simulations, 'cause I've never seen a glitch. But there's a clock up on the mantle, and it keeps on going, tick, tick, tick. Now I only watch the TV where the plot line is cursed, and I only turn the news on when it's slightly absurd. Okay, I mostly skim the headlines, but it seems like everything is getting better. Or is it worse? Now I only watch the movies where the villain gets the girl, and I only read the books about the end of the world. God, I used to be so serious, don't remember what for. I exhale in a parallel scene. title screen. Cue the title screen.
It's not the same when I'm with you. You open up before I do. Came out a different shade of blue. It's not the same when I'm with you. But it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when the tide comes in. When the tide comes in. But it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when you call again. When you call again. How long's the shoreline anyway? I measured every other day. Tide washes all my work away. How long's the shoreline anyway? But it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when the tide comes in. When the tide comes in. But it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when you call again. When you call again. But it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when the tide comes in. When the tide comes in. But it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when you call again. When you call again. Oh, I'm not supposed to answer. I'm not supposed to know that the silence answer. I've got to let it go. Oh, I'm not supposed to answer. I'm not supposed to know that the silence answer. I've got to let it go now.
Hello there, folks. Nerdy John here, host of the Nerdiest show in commentary. How we all doing tonight? Listen, I know this is an unusual time for me to stream. Obviously, you know, I'm more of the morning show guy. However, obviously I missed a Sunday show, and then I would stream tomorrow. However, the issue with that is they switched my days off yet again. So instead of having tomorrow off like I normally do, or used to be normal, I have Thursday off instead. So there will be a morning show Thursday for sure. But I wanted to go ahead and try to do a show tonight. You know, I miss giving out content. You know, I miss doing content. And it just, dude, sometimes life be bullshit. Okay, life be bullshit sometimes. But anyway, I figured we would get into some of the stuff. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if we'll get through everything tonight. I say unfortunate because like we're looking at here like an hour-long video, 30-minute video, and then Jar's video on Nicholas Diorio is fucking over 40 minutes long. So, but I want to tackle everything I can, you know. At the very least, I want to go over the the Faithful Sheriff video tonight, and then we'll go from there because it is kind of late for me. So we'll actually, you know what? I know I don't want to false advertise. I have to change the title of the stream. Yeah, we'll get through the Faithful Sheriff video, and then we will see where the night takes us. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, get this bad boy on. All right, let's begin, shall we? June the King, how a religious nut became the most hated peanut. I love the title.
Those without purpose will find themselves hopeless, dissatisfied, and empty. Such feelings become so painful to bear that distractive eccentricities can become necessities. Rare is it that these habits find permanence, unshaken by ridicule or genuine criticism. This state of being can be galvanized by opposition. As such, the subject finds the denial not in themselves, but in the world, and their newfound purpose is to correct it. It is this state of being that creates infamous figures.
And like, dude, look at the original like Faithful Sheriff model he had. And he's like, why do people think I'm a ripoff? I'm not a ripoff. Meanwhile, it was this.
Like the Faithful Sheriff, a creator that despite mounting opposition and a lack of financial motivation, has for 5 years preached Christianity and online video games aimed at younger demographics.
Oh, guys, look! It's a miner! And I'm talking to them! Whoa!
Most recently,
And that's the thing, it's just like, that's the weird part. It's just like, dude, you go out of your fucking way to talk to kids. You go out of your way. And then you're like, well, why does everyone have a problem with it? I see no problem with it whatsoever. And it's like, dude. You're fucking weird. You're a weirdo, Faithful Sheriff. You're weird.
the Faithful Sheriff has been widely mocked for masquerading as popular streamer The Burnt Peanut. This too, he denies.
I didn't steal anything. I'm my own person, my own peanut.
While the majority of recent coverage
Dude. That's a fucking thing. He's like, I didn't steal. I didn't steal this idea whatsoever. And, he saw that like he saw that the fucking peanut was getting popular, and he's popular in somewhat right-leaning circles. At least that's where like I see a lot of people like him is that, you know. And then I think because like Dr. Disrespect kind of became like a right-leaning figure, you know, so it's just like the Faithful Sheriff's whole thing, or Dr. Witnesser, whichever one you want to call him, his whole deal is, okay, who is the most popular like right-leaning creator right now that I can copy? Because he copied not necessarily the look, but like you can tell from like his old layout and stuff that he was very much trying to like replicate the Dr. Disrespect look. And then with the Burnt Peanut, obviously with the VTuber model and stuff, it was pretty obvious there. I'm honestly surprised he hasn't tried to copy someone like Tectone or Asmongold yet. Of course, they're very minimalist, so you might have a harder time copying them without like trying to like go for their looks. And this guy hasn't shown his face on like webcam in a long time. And I have a feeling he wants to save what's left of his hair, so he's probably not going to go the Tectone route and shave it off, right?
Encompasses what some would consider the sheriff's blatant plagiarism or exploitation of his gullibility. This video aims to capture it all and understand how this all came to be. Quote, video games were my life. I was bullied much in school, starting literally in kindergarten all the way to 9th grade, where I had a tussle with a bully and actually came
Yeah, I had a tussle.
Came out on top and finally won a little respect after years of being a target. But video games was my escape. I could not wait to get home and continue with the next saga of an RPG I played. It was all I could think about throughout the school day." Unquote. This is from a Reddit post created by Pantorius, the faithful sheriff's oldest alias. It is a post detailing his life and his obsession with video games, a hobby that began at 5 years of age and was reinforced throughout his childhood and early adulthood. Though he was independent for a period, he notes that he came into hard times and had to move back in with his parents, where he actively played the MMORPG Ragnarok Online. Quote, "I remember them kind
Ragnarok Online. I've never heard of that game. Figured it'd be something like WoW, or I've heard of EverQuest. I've heard of like RuneScape. Not Ragnarok.
They're
Damn.
making fun of me at how much I play this game. I told them, you watch. One day I'm going to meet my wife on this game. My thinking was that any girl that loved to play this game as much as I did would be a nice wife to have. Well, some years later, still playing this game, that's exactly what happened. I met my
No fucking way. I met a gamer girl, and she became my trad wife.
wife on that game, and here we are 10 years later with a 3-year-old happily married." Unquote. Pantorius explains that before they had a child, he and his wife would play video games for hours and hours a day together. For some time, their family was doing well. His wife was earning a decent sum from a marketing job, and he was similarly earning a living as a delivery driver for FedEx.
I mean, hey, you know, we gotta respect the hustle, right? Gotta respect the hustle, get a fucking decent job out there, you know? It seems so far so good. I mean,
This would not last.
I was a FedEx driver and a garbage truck driver before that, and I drove truck for a living. And
okay, all decent paying jobs. Okay,
I think I hurt my back.
Quote, "I lost my job at some point due to injury, and during that time, I became very frustrated with my work life." Unquote.
I found a sit-down desk job to have to be a dispatcher for a trucking company, and it's a little small family-owned company, and like basically I got in a disagreement with the son of the president, and he fired me for like arguing with the son.
With the loss of his newest job,
damn.
his
That
aversion
sucks.
to traditional work grew. Instead, he decided to retreat into his old hobby, video games. While Pantorius favored role-playing games and fighting games, he was interested, yet skeptical of popular games and other genres. Quote, "I thought this game, Fortnite, can't be that good. Who wants to play Minecraft while they're trying to shoot someone?" Well, that turned into me trying the game and watching a guy called Cypher PK on YouTube on learning how to be better at this very addicting game. Since at this
this was the downward spiral that we would all witness soon enough.
time I was between jobs, I noticed these streamers making money just by playing games, something I've been doing since I was literally 5. The playing games part. I thought, I could totally do this. Unquote. Something
Wait, no. So this is like the way he talks. This is like very like 2009, 2010s like early YouTuber. But like it sounds like he didn't start streaming until like Fortnite was a thing. That's weird. I don't know. Am I the only one who finds that kind of odd? Like the way he's talking, it feels kind of odd. It feels like, I don't know. I don't want to say disingenuous because this is like before. This seems like it was before he even had like a streaming career at all. Before he leaned into like the Christian stuff. But I don't know. It's just kind of a weird like origin story, right? I heard that people played video games online and then got paid for it, and I'm thinking that's what I do every day. I could make money off of that.
in Pantorius clicked in that moment. He thought to himself that streaming is the golden ticket. It is a way to engage with his lifelong hobby while earning a living. To do this, he began to study popular streamers, not necessarily as a source of inspiration, rather as a template on what one has to do to succeed.
So I watched a lot of Cypher PK and like Tim the Tatman and like.
So I'm actually curious. Is this interview before he even became Dr. Witnesser? Because he doesn't have like the get up.
how they streamed, what they did, how they played, how to play it from Cypher, but like how to conduct yourself in a stream and like what the
wonder what
successful
podcast
streamers
this
did
is.
and what they look like and all that.
It was through the analysis of these streamers that a confidence grew. Pantorius thought he could not only replicate these streamers, but he could even surpass them.
I started streaming Fortnite, and my wife was like, "You're really gonna turn this into a job?" I'm like, "Hey, look, if Tim the Tatman and Cypher and all these other people are, can ignore their chat for hours and like, play and do this."
You see, I don't think because never outright state that you're gonna like try to make this a job, I think you should always come, unless you have a 100% guaranteed plan of like, no, this is how I'm gonna make a shit ton of money. You should always maintain the mindset of this is a hobby. This is a hobby. Because like, I don't know. Because, like, I feel like as soon as you try to have the mindset of this is a job, I need to make certain quotas, stuff like that. I feel like that's when you start getting disappointed in something like this, whether it's streaming or making videos. I think the main goal should always be to have fun with what you're doing.
This and make that kind of money out of it. Of course I can do that. Of course I can do that.
I could do this and better than them. I could
Pantorius. So he did. Okay, so he went by Pantorius for a bit for his like online stuff. Noobs Unite interview 1. 12 subscribers? What?
do it better.
Boring, uninteractive, bland. These are the words Pantorius used to describe some of the top streamers of 2018. Words that derived not entirely from critique, but affirmations that the streaming field is an easy one to succeed in.
Well, that's the weird thing, is that like streaming can be something incredibly easy to do, but it's very difficult to get your foot in the door to capture that audience to make it easy. Now, I will always maintain that a normal job, a regular 9 to 5, it will always be more difficult than streaming. That's why everyone wants to become a streamer. So that way they can become famous and shit and not have to worry about bills ever again, But yeah, it is difficult to like get your foot in the door. Right? I think that's always like the uphill battle, is to find the audience. And then once you do, as long as you're able to maintain that.
Self-assuredness, his pride, would meet the cruel reality of one of the most competitive and coveted online jobs. As per his Pantorius website, even with streaming 5 days a week for 6 hours with an established schedule, he only accumulated around 1,600 followers in months of streaming as a job.
I mean, shit. What, 1,600 followers? I mean, that's not bad. I wouldn't say that's bad necessarily, right? It's just a small streamer, you're starting out. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's bad. If you're doing it as a hobby, I mean, it's bad if you're trying to like make it as a job.
These are the results of an experiment of sorts. Pantorius hypothesized that through becoming his interpretation of an entertaining and engaging streamer, through filling the shortcomings of the top streamers, he could easily climb the ranks of the streaming platform Twitch. Only reality did not seem to agree, and this disagreement went both ways. In April,
now, especially if you're in the gaming space, as far as like live streaming goes, you either have to be extremely fucking entertaining, personality wise, or you have to be really good at the game. If you're not, or you're doing a lot of collabs, at least in the Twitch space, it helps in the YouTube space as well. Collaborations will always help you no matter what space you're in, but like especially in like the Twitch field, I feel like you definitely need collabs in order to survive on there, right? Because you need to start getting streamer friends so that way they can raid into you and vice versa, and do event streams and stuff. I mean, that's why I think that's why like people like Mizkif, when he was strictly like a Twitch person, was able to like maintain an audience for so long, because he connected himself with that Twitch circle for a long time, and then it fell apart.
April 2019, nearly a year into streaming, he continued to advertise himself as one of the most interactive streamers on Twitch, yet little cared to interact with him. Unrelenting, Pantorius posted on the Dayton, Ohio subreddit with professional streamer from Dayton, Ohio.
Oh my fucking god. Is this where I find out that... Dude, this is where I find out that me and... British runner. Fortunately, I'm both. This is where I find out that me and fucking the faithful sheriff are in the same goddamn state. Holy shit. That's funny. Me and the fucking faithful sheriff in the same goddamn state. Holy shit.
Ohio. The comments largely disagreed with his claim and were displeased with what they saw as an intrusive advertisement. Pantorius, with months and months of work poured into his craft, could not find gratification for his work. He eventually submitted himself as the #1 in Dayton, Ohio solo kills in Fortnite as his selling point. While this may have been indisputable, it was apparently not what viewers were seeking out. This was the end. Pantorius,
yeah, that seems like really... Yeah, I'm actually like the #1 player in like Bumfuckville, #5. Yes, I know. If you're in Ohio, Dayton's a pretty decently sized city. But like still, it's just like, you know that random city from this state? Yeah, I'm actually like the #1 player from it.
year later was unsuccessful in climbing the ranks of Twitch. His interpretation of popular streamers was nothing more than an illusion. The stress of this conclusion was immense, not only for Pantorius, but for his wife who had been supporting this endeavor. Quote, "My marriage was unhappy. I felt angry a lot. You could just tell things in the house weren't right. My selfishness was hurting someone, my family. Video games had gone from a release to a burden." Unquote. When someone is met with crushing failure, when they are stripped away from excuses and other sources of denial, they have little choice but to change when faced with a grim reality. As he could not find success nor purpose in streaming, he instead turned to religion to change and save him. Quote, "I started watching sermons from all kinds of different pastors on YouTube."
Oh my fucking god. He didn't even go to his local church. He just like, yeah, let me just look up some sermons real quick on YouTube. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. That fucking explains everything, I guess. That fucking explains it. What the fuck?
Reading my Bible more, praying more, and finally one day in the shower I just gave up and prayed and said, "God, show me your truth. I'm tired of being pulled in different directions. I'm tired of relying on myself. I want to rely fully on you. I know I've been selfish and not a good person, and I want to follow you completely now." At that point in my life, everything seemed okay on the outside, but it was falling apart on the inside. I vaped, drank, cussed, pornography, watched graphic shows like The Walking Dead and Handmaid's Tale, etc.
Oh my god. I watch shows like The Walking Dead and The Handmaiden. The Maiden's Tale. That's how you know you need a god, is when you're a fan of The Walking Dead. And I vaped. We got us a sinner here, boys. He's vaping. He's vaping. The Lord don't like it when you vape. The Lord like it when you smoke a cigar, you see. He's okay with a cigarette every now and then, but don't you be doing the vaping. Now, them's a devil's vapors.
etc. After that prayer in the shower, things changed fast. My wife was a Christian also, but not really practicing, as I wasn't. But in a span of 3 months' time, God changed my life completely 180. When the Bible says in John 3:3, "You must be born again to enter the kingdom of God," he wasn't kidding. I was literally born again from the inside out. In 3 months, he delivered me from all my sinful behavior. No more vaping, drinking, cussing, porn, self-gratification.
I mean, doesn't he... I feel like he swears on stream, doesn't he? He streams. I mean, not streams. He still cusses, doesn't he? I feel like he swears. I could have sworn there's been a clip or like a... What is in that Discord leak? He swore before. No fucking way. He like... Like, what the fuck does the rest of us say? Evil or bad thoughts, selfishness, and no more video games?
evil or bad thoughts, selfishness, no more video games, no more desire for my own will, but God's will. I even took my TV off the wall, and the house was void of TV except in our bedroom where we watch sermons. I am not the same person I was 6 months ago playing Fortnite. I am a new man, and I thank God for delivering me from all the worldly desires and giving me a heart that only craves Him 24/7. Unquote. Pantoria.
Oh my god, the rest of it says, I use my Twitch channel to minister to other Twitch streamers. I mean, I guess that's a market. I guess that's a fucking market somewhere, right? Dude, dear Lord. Chat, can I get some poggers in chat? That's what Jesus will want, is give me poggers in chat. I'm sorry, I'm picturing it now. So Lord, the Lord saith before me, Lord, give me a kill streak.
May have been reborn and may have changed his hobbies drastically to fit his new lifestyle, but his arrogance remained, no longer sourced in the belief of his talents to entertain, but sourced in his belief in God and how much more knowledge he had of Christianity through his recent, intensive studying. The top comment of his Reddit post is supportive of his newfound purpose in Christianity, but also attempts to temper his sudden and alarming change, informing him that some of the hobbies he's cast aside are fine when in moderation. However, Pantorius was none too pleased with anything but words of support. To the top comment petitioning him.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, the other lesson to be learned is everything in moderation. You could keep watching TV and playing games in moderation. Communication is key within a relationship, and while I'm sure you believe this is the best thing for you, this is like people that diet by cutting out everything they like. It works for a time, but usually the people relapse. The best way is to set goals and make positive changes to your life on your terms. I'm happy you feel happier, but the next step to figure out next step is to figure out how to maintain the happiness in a long term. This high from God will wear off, and I think that's the part where he gets pisses off, right? Right. I think that's where he gets what's the phrase? His Jimmy's in a twist, right? We gotta be like the faithful sheriff, and not swear, guys. You know, God would look down upon that.
To not abandon his hobbies entirely, as he may be worse off once the high from God wears off. Pantorius, in a deleted comment quoted by a different Redditor, appears to have compared playing video games or watching The Walking Dead to other sins as a counterpoint as to why they should be avoided entirely. Quote, that's like saying murder in moderation, our word in moderation, drugs in moderation. The Bible never says it's okay.
Dude, what? What? I mean, look, if he has a video game addiction, which is a very, very much a real thing, if he has a video game addiction and he needs to cut it out entirely, like cold turkey, I mean, hey, that's for you to do. You know, that is 100% for you to do. But you're not, like, the commenter's not necessarily wrong. And like, if you go like complete cold turkey on everything you enjoy, it's gonna be a fucking bumpy ass road. I feel bad for this dude.
To moderately follow Jesus. He wants 100% of your attention. He gave 100% of himself to you. The least you could do is the same. Please don't be fooled by culture and tradition. Unquote. The Redditor retorts, quote, so you give 100% of your money to others? You give 100% of your food to the needy? You spend 100% of your time helping others with no concern of yourself? You're being ridiculous. Unquote. While Pantorius would not respond to these points, he would state that Satan is literally talking through that Redditor.
Dude, he does the same thing on Twitter now, where he's like, no, you're speaking. Satan is speaking for you to deceive me. God is testing me by you being mean to me on Twitter. That's.
and that his high from God would never wear off. Also in this thread, Pantorius argued with a Redditor who claimed to be a pastor, who despite citing 21 Bible verses, could not move Pantorius. In fact, Pantorius labeled this preacher a false teacher who is poisoning the minds of other Christians. As the final
And that we saw this with his beef with Gaming for Hope. If you don't 100%, it's not, you don't just have to be a Christian. You have to be a Christian, but you also have to 100% follow everything he's doing. And that's where it's really like, okay, man, okay, chill. Like, I don't know if it's even true, but I heard he's what's the term, Seventh-day Adventist, where it's just like, if I remember it correctly, like those people, their holy day, instead of it being Sunday, is Saturday. Which, I mean, more power to you, but like that's a really unpopular sect of Christianity, you know. Who knows? Maybe this entire time they were just flooded Ohio, and I just never noticed. But yeah, I mean that's not even like he's not even like a general like Baptist or anything. He's like, yo, he's Seventh-day Adventist all the way for me. And like, I get it, if you're like curious about your religion, you know, you should, like, you naturally, as I think, if anyone's curious about stuff, they naturally look online. But when it comes to religion, I think you should be physically, I mean, people worship in their own ways, you know. But I mean, if you're serious, I think you should go to church, you know. More power to all the Bible thumpers who do their live streams and stuff, or videos. I know apparently there are a lot of YouTube channels that do like the Sunday Bible streams where they like read scripture and stuff. And I know what was it? There are some people on like YouTube Shorts live streams who like do that stuff too. And then, like I said, more power to you, but like, I don't know. There's something about like being in the church. You get what I mean? Like, you physically being in the church, I think helps with the connection to God. I very much sound like a Catholic right now, which is funny.
Final word, Pantorius proclaims, quote, "It surprises me how many people on a quote-unquote Christian forum are saying, hey, it's okay to be in the world in moderation, or can't or won't grasp the concept of giving all of yourself."
Dude, if the Christian subreddit is saying you're doing it wrong, man, maybe you're doing it wrong. Listen, I know Reddit's not the end-all be-all of stuff, but like, if the message board is r/Christians, maybe they got a point. I don't know. That's just me, dog. That's just me.
To the savior of your life. Please read God's word and you come to the realization that you can't live in the quote-unquote world and be a Christian at the same time, unquote.
What? You can't live in the quote-unquote world and be a Christian at the same time? Not to get dark, but then like, what's the point in what would be the point in living then, if you're just like, you can't worship God and live in this world at the same time? Like, bro, it's really fucking depressing.
Pantorius was no more. Now it was Forsake the World, a newly reborn Christian streamer who used his streaming equipment for the act of witnessing. Being a witness, in biblical terms, is being one who can testify for the existence of God. As such, witnessing is reaching out to others to testify in favor of God's existence with the hopes to convert and save them. Though he would witness in public, such as during Halloween, to adult trick-or-treaters, Forsake the World would mainly join streams of a similar small following and jump into their chat room. The lack of an active chat would encourage the streamer to respond to the messages. Forsake the World's approach was often aggressive, condescending, and logically flawed. A common talking point he'd utilize is asking the target how they know the building they currently reside in was built at all if they did not see such a thing happen as to draw comparison to the creation of the world. Only some did throughout their life.
Dude, what the dude? Yeah, I'm gonna go to an atheist live stream and debate them. Bro. This is like, you know what? He should have targeted the fucking Destiny. I guarantee you Destiny would have had this guy on a live stream to debate him about God or something. I can totally see it. I can totally so you know how like there's that one some people will know there's like that one Destiny debate where he's like debating Rose Millette of all people. Like that could have been Dr. Witnesser's moment right there.
Watch their home or other buildings being built. Even with these flaws in his talking points, he continued to actively use them through a short stint as Forsake the World and actively as Dr. Witnesser. Though the goal remained, the medium changed, or rather reverted. Quote, while he had completely stopped recreationally gaming and esports gaming after being born again, and also now condones gaming as a worldly pursuit, he felt that God was calling him to use his past experience gaming and streaming equipment to help reach those who do still game, to try to pull them out of the world and to Christ, unquote. After just a few months.
No, I'm sorry. That's just an ass pull to like to justify gaming again. I think that's it. I think if you, I think especially nowadays, he's probably gaming to some extent off stream, right? He has to some degree. You can't, dude, this whole stance of like, yeah, actually gaming in general is just a sin, but like God told me that I should game in order to convert more people. But isn't gaming sinning? Well, like it's a good sinning because like I'm sinning for God. It's like the Crusades, you know, thou shalt not kill. But you know, the Crusades, it was okay to kill. Like that's I think that's probably like the justification for it in his head, probably.
Months separated from gaming, he returned to Fortnite once more.
Nobody else was doing that. And I thought, you know, gamers need to hear the gospel. Everybody needs to hear the gospel. But my worry
gamers need to hear the gospel. Thou shalt not goon. I'm sorry, this God thing's not for me. That's gonna be it. Thou shalt not look at anime titties. I'm sorry, but this God thing's just not for me. That's the extent of it.
Was like me going back into the worldly thing, and so I prayed about it. I talked to my pastor about it. I talked to some friends about it, and they're like, "Yeah, but you know,
dude, who's your pastor? You just admitted like that your whole like your whole Christian existence was like for fucking YouTube and shit, so that way you can watch sermons. What did you fucking like dono your pastor like $5 for otherworldly advice? Was that it?
No, your motive isn't to just play it for the fun of it. Your motive is to go in there and like get gamer to tell people about the gospel.
Dude, okay, hear me out. I'm gonna become a pastor, right? And I'm going to do as much hookers and blow as I can. That way, I can convert the drug dealers and the prostitutes. See, I got a good plan here, guys. This is my 100%. This will be guaranteed to work. Plan to convert people that need to be converted.
And I made Dr. Witnesser. I did all this, you know. I got obviously inspiration from Dr. Disrespect, but I didn't want to copy him outright.
Dr. Witnesser
It's funny what he's willing to admit to back then.
often wore a black shirt and sometimes an orange tie, a similar color palette to the then highly popular gaming live streamer Dr. Disrespect, who he would at times praise. After nearly 2 years of streaming, it appears something about his gimmick worked. Dr. Witnesser attributes some, if not all, of his success to his uploading of short-form content, mainly.
I like to thank God and the TikTok algorithm, you see, made me popular. That's probably what he says. Like, I gotta thank God. I gotta thank the TikTok algorithms.
To his TikTok. In a matter of weeks, his concurrent viewership jumped from tens to hundreds, a blessing and a curse, because just as he hunted for non-believers, he too was preyed upon.
The people that disrespect you, they're like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just not.
And like, okay, so like this is like an interesting setup right here. Again, very, very much Dr. Disrespect inspired. It's interesting, but like, I don't know. I also don't like the fact that, for one, his face is covering the center of the screen, and then you have the gameplay in like fucking 6 different monitors, right? So like you can't even see everything. It's just a really, like, it's good for like a just talking thing, but if like I want to see gameplay, what the fuck is this?
They're haters, man. They're agents of the world. That's what they are. Okay.
Oh my god. No, bro.
They're
Stop
haters.
using his name in vain, bro.
Bro. You see, this is why Christians get fucking made fun of, because of this fucker right here. They're just like, don't you use his name in... They gotta be lame. They're just like, don't you use God's name in vain. You can't do that. You can't do that. Like, this is the type of motherfucker that, like, saw the God's Not Dead movies and it was like, this is a cinematic masterpiece. Yes, yes. I love the God's Not Dead trilogy. I own all the movies. Well, it's not even like, isn't it? I feel like there are fucking like, there are like over 4 God's Not Dead films, right? I don't know. I just remember seeing the trailer for God's Not Dead 2 constantly. It's like if I remember correctly, that, like, sorry for the tangent, but like the plot is like this lady. She was a teacher, and she taught God to her class, her students, and I think the parents were offended for some reason and got her fired, and then I think she sued the school, or the school sued her for whatever reason. I don't know, man. It was fucking funny. And like, meanwhile, like the trailer is just like playing that really dramatic, God's not dead, he's surely alive. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. Actually, I'm gonna. Sorry for the tangent. I gotta see it. God's not dead. God's not dead to 2016. Damn. Yeah, here we go. Official trailer. Yeah, here we go. Give it a minute to load. Yeah.
In this day and age,
Pure Flicks, that was it.
people seem to forget that the most basic human right of all is the right to believe.
People seem to forget the most basic human right is the right to believe. From the creators of God's Not Dead.
No prayer.
Teach, don't preach. Teach, don't preach.
No moments of silence. Nothing.
No, what? What?
No prayers. No moments of silence. Nothing.
Oh my god. How awful.
The other children out there who are subjected to their repressive belief system.
That lawyer's the bad guy, by the way. If you couldn't tell from that line, that's the bad guy of the movie.
We sit by and do nothing. The pressure that we're feeling today will mean persecution tomorrow.
The pressure that we're feeling today could mean persecution tomorrow. Dude, this is some weird Christians like fantasy of like, they're coming after us.
We're at war.
We're at war. Now they want to silence his message.
What makes nonviolence so radical is it's
What makes nonviolence so radical?
unwavering commitment to a nonviolent approach. Isn't that sort
What the fuck is that line? Hang on. What?
so radical? Is its unwavering commitment.
What makes it? What? Hang on.
What makes nonviolence so radical is its unwavering commitment to a nonviolent approach.
What makes nonviolence so radical is its commitment to a nonviolent approach. When the writer wrote that line, he thought he was spitting. He thought he was spitting.
Isn't that sort of like what Jesus meant when he said that we should love our enemies?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she mentioned it. She mentioned Jesus. Oh no. Oh no.
You have heard it said, love your
I bet you the faithful sheriff, this is like one of his favorite movies. I bet you 100%.
neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you.
One of your students sent a text.
So what's the scenario there, right? What's the scenario where he's just like, Mom, they talked about God.
To their parents. Did this happen?
If you're asking whether I
Did this happen?
responded to a student's question, yes.
And your answer incorporated.
The funny thing about this movie is, like, looking back at the trailers, right? It simultaneously looks like a Hallmark movie, but yet, like, cheaper than a Hallmark movie.
The words of Jesus.
What were you thinking, Grace?
What were you thinking? That's the thing, too, is the main character's name is Grace, and it's a religious movie. What were you thinking, Grace, talking about Jesus Christ?
Asking that you be fired, plus revocation of your teaching certificate.
How do we make this go away and not get blood on our hands?
What?
We let the ACLU do it.
We're going to prove once and for all that God is dead.
We're gonna prove once. I just want I want old school Skeletor to say that, right? We're gonna prove once and for all that God is dead.
I'm no order in the matter of Thorley versus Wesley.
Mr. Kane will insist faith isn't on trial here, but that is exactly what is on trial.
You're looking to prove that Jesus...
Oh, of course, like, I forget his name, but like that guy with the long hair and like the goatee, like the beach dude vibes. That guy's been doing Christian films since he was like a teenager.
Christ existed? Oh, that's ridiculous. I hate what people like your clients stand for.
I hate what they stand for.
And what they're doing to our society.
You're under arrest.
These people, they're looking to
You're under arrest
destroy you. Everyone's telling me to stand.
for believing in God.
What is your heart telling you to do?
I would rather stand with God and be judged by the world than stand with the world and be judged by God. I am not going to be afraid to say the name Jesus.
I am not going to be afraid that he's... those are the lyrics. Hang on. Wait, did I play the song in this trailer? No, here we go.
If we're going to insist that a Christian's right to believe is subordinate to all other rights, then it's not a right.
You are the board that
Oh, is that the Allstate guy? I think that's the Allstate guy.
charged you with contempt.
I accept the charge because I have nothing but contempt for these proceedings.
God's not dead, he's surely alive.
I fucking love that trailer. It's always fucking comedy gold. I argue it's up there with The Room in terms of comedy. I want to look at like the fucking teacher in the first movie forces his students to accept God is dead or they fail his class. Lol, it's fine. The teacher in the second movie mentions God. Sue her ass. Yeah. Please don't bother scrolling down, people. It's a war zone down there. Just enjoy the trailer and go back to study. Let's see. What makes nonviolence so radical? Its unwavering commitment to a nonviolent approach. Could this be the most meaningless sentence of all time? Dude, I'm glad I'm not the only one who fucking loves that line. Anyway, back to the actual video itself. Sorry for that fucking derailment right there. I'm probably not gonna cut. I'm not even gonna keep that in the fucking post. But I'm sorry, that was too funny not to have a detour of.
I did not say his name in vain.
You said OMG.
Did I actually?
Yes, you did actually.
Oh, wait,
Oh
does he
my
say?
God.
Wow, dude, there you go again. Okay. Nice.
What?
Oh, wow, there you go again. There you go again.
You re.
Wow.
It turns out there are a lot of evil, toxic people out there, and
Dude, the 12-year-olds are bullying him, guys. There are so many evil and toxic people out there in the world. What are we gonna do?
I got just bombarded by those people.
I don't know. You might need. I don't know if we can res you. You might want to call God to come resurrect you.
Hey, that's not funny.
That's not funny. Dude, I'm sorry, but he makes it so fucking easy to bully him. He's so like, I mean, to a certain extent you gotta respect it, but like also too, it's like, dude, you are not in the space for like your type of Christian that's like, no, you have to be serious about God.
If you don't turn from your wicked ways and repent and trust in Jesus, you're gonna die and burn to hell and cease to exist and turn to ash. That's not gonna affect any.
brother. I wonder if Augie would watch this guy and be like, yo, he's based. Actually, you're pretty based.
Anything you think about?
I don't care what you.
What if I could prove to you God's existence?
Go for it. But that's the thing, is like unless they're in like a desperate time of need, which is, you know, usually when most people turn to religion. Like you can never prove to a non-believer that Jesus, or, well, sorry, not Jesus, because there's historical records of Jesus Christ, but like you can, to non-believers, you won't be able to prove to them that Jesus was the Son of God or that God exists, because like that's just the reality of it. Like people are set in their ways, and until something like drastic happens, you know, stop. Like that's what I find funny with his approach when it comes to like trying to convert people. Is like he's literally like just playing with like 12-year-olds who are like playing after school, and he's like, you know, you gotta repent and learn the ways of Jesus. And meanwhile, all the kids thinking is like, wow, this guy's a loser. He doesn't like it when we swear. We should make fun of him for not liking it when we swear. And bam, there you go. You got a fucking laughing stock. I mean, that's I bet you, if we look back on it, there were probably people like clipping him to make fun of him. Probably.
So you know that house you're in right now?
Sure.
How do you know there was a builder?
Because I saw him build it.
I do that. Yes, that's me.
Oh my god.
Hey.
What the hell?
Don't swear. Don't take the Lord's name in vain.
How?
What?
Impossibly. What the hell?
You can't just sit there and
How?
start.
Wait, are you live streaming or what?
You can't just sit there and just start busting out, taking his name in vain and stuff like that. Come on.
Holy.
Come on, guys. We can't do that. This is like one big like Mr. Mackey thing. Listen, swearing's bad, okay? You shouldn't take the Lord's name in vain, okay?
My god.
Stop taking his name in vain, dude.
Although trolls would actively seek him out, as they likely also made up a fair portion of his audience, they hardly discouraged him or barred his path. It was not until, on or around July 12th, that he'd meet his most vicious opponent to date, a Muslim child that
his most vicious opponent yet, a child,
challenged his beliefs.
Yeah, well, I'm denying that because usually what you're talking about, since you're American and Christian, since the Muslim culture, we don't really talk about that.
Yeah, you don't talk about it because they don't want to believe it. That's why. So look, if you were to die in your sins today, you would be sentenced to hell. And God, the living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God that created the earth in 6 days.
So, fun fact, when I went to college, I had a Muslim roommate. It was he was a foreign exchange student. He went to my college for a few months, and we got to talking a lot. And I was really ignorant at the time. He like explain it to me. I'm like, no, I like Christian. So like when it comes to like the God, Muslims, Jews, Christians all believe in the same God. Muslims even believe in like Abraham, like in that. It differentiates who the messenger is and like practices and stuff like that, right? Like Jews don't believe that Jesus was the Son of God. I believe Muslims will say he was a messenger, or at the very least like a teacher of God, right? But you know, they're more so on the Allah thing. And obviously Christians believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, you know.
And rested on the seventh. He is telling you that the only way to heaven is by turning from your sins and trusting in his Son who died for your sins. That's what God teaches.
This interaction was posted by user Chelsea Harwood to YouTube and Twitter, who tagged both Twitch and Twitch support in their tweet, asking Twitch to set a boundary as they are responsible for hosting him. The description of the YouTube video is more up to date than the Twitter post, as it also reflects his banning and the reason for it. Quote, Dr. Winneser, a former Twitch streamer, has been banned for telling this Muslim child he was going to hell since he didn't believe in Jesus Christ or follow Christianity. Unquote. The comments on this video note how the child won the argument. Dr. Winneser will later note how fierce and knowledgeable this child was as a reason for why he showed little restraint.
But this kid who is Muslim was very informative.
Oh my God! This interview was done like post getting the Twitch ban. Oh damn! I didn't know that.
The Muslim Islam religion. And I was like, okay, this kid knows some things. So I talked to him with a manner of respect, as in like this. I'm not going to treat him like a 5-year-old. I'm going to treat him like he knows what he's.
You're going to go to hell, boy. Yeah, I spoke to him with respect. You're going to hell. You're going to go to hell, and you're going to burn in the fire.
You know, he's got his big boy britches on. I'm going to treat him like a big boy. I told him exactly what the Bible says. And the Bible says that if you don't turn from your sin and trust in Jesus, your destination is hell.
Displeased with Twitch's ruling, Dr. Winneser threatened to post about his banning to his 251,000 followers on TikTok, believing that this is Twitch speaking against Christianity. But this ban was not permanent, and after a week, his channel was restored. When he came back, his viewer numbers were hardly affected. For a period, they even increased.
He didn't get canceled then. He didn't get canceled.
Nearing 1,000 concurrent viewers before falling to around 300 and then into another suspension.
And so they would ask me these questions and I would tell them the truth. I would say, hey, the Bible's clear, you know, it's a sin. And 1 Corinthians 6 verse 9 says, you know, no homosexual would enter the kingdom of heaven. And you know, I'm not saying this is what the Bible says.
This suspension began around October 2020 and resolved in the first week of November. While his Twitch channel had stagnated, he had become somewhat notorious in the content creator scene, often being referred to as that preacher that talks to kids in Fortnite. Sometimes even just his physical qualities were used as a point of comparison.
Oh, you look like the skinny Dr. Witnesser, bro.
Dr. Witnesser.
Yeah, he talks about
Jesus. Oh yeah, you look
know.
like the skinny Dr. Witnesser. That's a fucking foul comment.
Nobody likes him.
At the start of 2021, according to Dr. Winneser, came a trial of faith and testing. Quote, by a trial of public opinion and political correctness, Dr. Winneser was permanently banned from Twitch after struggling with massive amounts of trolls reporting him for any perceived slight or clip they could twist out of context. Some might argue that this is evidence that it was not God working to reach people after all, or that they won over God. Otherwise, why did God allow Dr. Winneser to get perm banned? Unquote.
Dude, God tried talking to Dan Clancy that day. He tried. Dan was too busy one-handing it, you know? God was like, you know, I see you doing that. And Dan was like, go ahead, watch.
As a response to the new indefinite ban, Dr. Winneser took to Twitter to express his frustration with Twitch, claiming they are a biased, hypocritical organization with an agenda they shove down everyone's throats. He also states he is taking time off to plan his next move. As he had done in the windows of prior suspensions, he streamed on the cryptocurrency-based live streaming website DLive to a smaller audience of around.
Oh my god, fucking DLive, dude. I have never watched a single live stream on D Live. I just know that, like, I think PewDiePie streamed on there like one time.
40 concurrent viewers. Even with a smaller audience and following, Dr. Winneser continued to find ways to anger the masses. When an 18-year-old TikToker took their life, while acknowledging the tragedy of a life lost, he is clear about her not being in a better place, as taking your own life is breaking God's law, reassuring everyone that this TikToker did not love God and they were not
Dude, fucking time and place, Jesus. Time and fucking place, dude. Dude, just off the rip, he's just like, yo, I know they just died today, but they're not in heaven. Like, bro, let people fucking mourn at least. God damn.
entering
The
those
body is still warm.
states. Among the growing opposition of Dr. Winneser and his
Yo,
interpretations
this
of
is where Gaming for Hope enters the fucking chat. Let's go.
Bible was Gaming for Hope, an infamous Christian content creator that has the desire but not the ability to become a pro video game player. He is often criticized for his own critiques directed at his teammates while being seen as the weakest member of the team. In this video uploaded on March 1st, 2021, titled Dr. Winneser, a bad example, Gaming for Hope criticizes Dr. Winneser's approach to witnessing, believing it to be fear-mongering, aggressive, and ineffective. Gaming for Hope states that he has reached out to Dr. Winneser on multiple platforms and has not received a single response. One of, if not the most bewildering aspects of this video is the shirt Gaming for Hope is wearing that in bold and capitalized letters reads porn. In the comments, Gaming for Hope, in his own pinned comment, explains that this was the result of erroneous framing. The shirt in its entirety, according to Gaming for Hope, reads "Porn kills love." The following day, YouTube
that is funny though, it just says porn.
Channel Froge uploaded a video that archived Dr. Winneser's recent opinion on the N-word, namely the version that ends with an A. He argues that the clip in where the streamer Symphony apparently said the N-word with an A should be acceptable for all to use, if not used in a derogatory.
I thought you didn't like swearing. What the fuck, bro? Why? Because like slurs are cuss words, you know? Slurs are cuss words, bro. You shouldn't be saying that. What the fuck, Witnesser? What do you think God's gonna think?
Way.
And it's like no one comes down hard on Eminem or stuff.
Does it? I don't think Eminem doesn't say the N-word. I think he said it like one time accidentally during a live performance.
No other white boys out there for saying the soft A word to their.
He wants to say homie. Yo, why are people getting mad at white guys for saying the N-word with a soft A to their homies?
Colored friend?
Oh my god, to their colored friend. Nothing makes you more of a white boy than complaining about not being able to say the N-word. Just say it. Honestly, just say it. Just say it and then go about your day. I don't know what else to tell you.
Dr. Winneser and several more tweets continue to argue in favor of his initial argument, eventually stopping by posting a clip of Family Guy that reminded him of these recent happenings. Unrelated to these tweets or Game for Hope, and a day later, Dr. Winneser announced that he was seeking legal representation to fight his indefinite suspension from Twitch, claiming the banning was religious discrimination.
Oh my god, bro. Dude, he was hoping to make his own version of God's Not Dead.
And that he would not waver from his pursuit of justice. On March 4th, the following day, he claims he spent his day on the phone and answering emails from lawyers. It is important to note that Dr. Winneser had, even with a considerable following, been rejected 3 times from Twitch's partner program, a fact that he cites as a
Really? God damn, that's harsh.
Sign of Twitch's bias against him. The announcement of the lawsuit gained the attention of news publications like Business Insider, that while spreading the news of the lawsuit, also made it a point to inform readers through the contents of the article and the headline that he told a Muslim child he was sentenced to hell.
Yeah, that might be the reason why. So, dude, yeah. So this streamer is trying to sue Twitch because they banned him. In other news, he also told a child that they were going to hell.
On March 7th, Dr. Witnesser gave up not only on the lawsuit, but also on his online identity. Quote, Dr. Witnesser will discontinue on all avenues and will no longer be active in the gaming industry, including dropping the pursuit of a lawsuit against Twitch, unquote. Being too close to the world was one of the cited reasons that influenced his decision. And though he may have been abandoning his identity as Dr. Witnesser, he was not abandoning content creation. Instead, rebranding as a new, news-focused channel, he will grow entirely detached from his previous identity. Although Dr. Witnesser would fail to retire his identity, returning to content creation just 3 months later, he did make good on recentering his channel through coverage of news, and now through the newly created Dr. Witnesser Show, which served as his podcast.
Welcome to the Dr. Witnesser Show. As a Christian and a Seventh-day Adventist, Dr. Witnesser has
Okay, so he is a fucking Seventh-day Adventist. He says it right here. Okay. That's good to know. Thank you, Dr. Witnesser, for clarifying that. Dude, that's the fucking funny thing. Is he's a fucking weirdo even in the Christian space. Right? He's a fucking weirdo in the Christian space. Brother, what the fuck? You do not get to snub your nose at other Christians while being a Seventh-day Adventist, okay? That's like Mormons trying to flex that they're the best version of Christianity. It's like, no, you're not, motherfuckers. You're weird.
To use his God-given talents to spread the gospel.
In the first episode of the Dr. Witnesser Show, Dr. Witnesser recounts his story as a content creator and deems Twitch an antichrist organization.
An antichrist. I mean, maybe you could say that nowadays, I guess.
There appears to have been a period of reflection, as he publicly apologized to YouTube, Twitch, and the Muslim child.
That's a fun dude. He actually has a fucking solid setup, and now he's just like waste. Do you think he like got rid of his setup? Is that why he's strictly like a VTuber now? It's like, dude, you have a decent setup, and like, I know everyone calls you fat, but I mean, like, being a fat content creator is not the worst fucking thing, you know. Maybe a bit of projection there myself, but being fat's not like the worst thing online. I can roll with the punches, you know.
Conducted himself in the past, and though he is not apologetic for his statements, he is regretful for how he delivered his message. A part of him was softening his approach and perhaps considering a return to witnessing in Fortnite. By October, Dr. Witnesser had made his return, not to Twitch as his ban stood, but to Fortnite. Although his approach had hardly changed, the interest he once generated through it had. Furthermore, his original Dr. Witnesser TikTok and the one he had made to replace it were both banned.
What did he do to get his fucking Dr. Witnesser TikTok banned, I wonder? Because like TikTok does allow for like Christian content and stuff. There are plenty of like dude they kind of became a lol cow for a little bit, but there was like this puppet dude who would like talk about Star Wars lore. Then randomly he starts talking about like the Bible and stuff and who is going to hell. Oh, I forget his name for the life of me, but it was so funny.
Sufficient interest gained from short-form content without Twitch as a stable and popular platform to gain and maintain exposure, his words reached very little outside of his captive teammates. This was remedied with a rebranding to Edward Preach and the newly established Edward Preach TikTok in April 2022. His approach to witnessing was virtually the same. So too was the approach of those that sought him.
Why would I be a fan of Charles Darwin? He's the one that imagined evolution.
You ever play like Pokemon? Like my Pikachu is like a stage 2 and then he evolves into a Raichu, and that's evolution.
I have a particular set of skills.
Dude, what if that worked? Like, this whole time he's trying to use like Fortnite to convert people to Christianity. What if people use Pokemon to convert them to being an atheist? That would be fucking hilarious.
Skills.
Taking it without flinching.
No.
That is not cool. That is not cool for you to say, mister. The Lord looks down upon that.
I go into games and I teach people about the Bible, bro.
With the return to form and actively
Dude, what the fuck is that picture? What the fuck is that picture? That's like he caught you and he's not letting you go. He's got you in a corner. You can't run away.
Capitalizing on those targeting him, his channel grew steadily throughout 2022. In April of the following year, Edward Preach was on Twitch with the hope that through a rebrand, Twitch would not ban this new channel. Edward Preach's gamble worked and he remained on the platform, but only for 2 days before Twitch staff noticed of their own accord, or the more likely case, his channel was mass reported as he was actively advertising it through his TikTok.
So I'm actually curious, is that if that's why initially for the longest time he tried to like say that he wasn't Dr. Witnesser? I think he was just probably was afraid of getting Twitch to ban his Twitch stream, which maybe he changed it. I'm surprised that he doesn't stream on Kick. Maybe he doesn't stream on Kick because of the whole gambling thing. Honestly, if that's the case, good on you for your principles. Actually, I wonder if anyone's ever asked him about that before.
Inexplicably, shortly after this ban, he created an additional TikTok also under the name Edward Preach, also inexplicably choosing a soy jack of his visage as a profile picture. As to add to the perplexing nature of this Edward Preach account, he was no longer uploading as Edward Preach in his videos, but once more as Dr. Witnesser, a rebrand that took place across his social media, yet still, the Edward Preach TikTok remained unchanged. This time more than just his branding changed.
Weird.
Not only was he still actively targeted by detractors, he too had the express goal to unsettle others.
I'll tell you the reason why I came back to Fortnite is because I really like, it may be wrong for me to say this, but I really like triggering the haters.
I like triggering the haters. Ha ha ha. They don't like that I still make content. It's like, bro, no, everyone's laughing at you. No one thinks you're cool.
When they're like, I can't believe he's teaching kids in Fortnite about Jesus. I just get a rise out of seeing the haters and see how much they hate me
so
going into Fortnite and teaching people about the Bible.
This has always been a thing.
It's extra funny when people are like, oh, what? He's indoctrinating children? You know, like, it's funny.
Shortly after expressing this goal, his arguments shifted to hotly debated subjects such as the newly released film, What is a Woman? His opinions on the matter were rarely welcome. His Twitter post advertising his video discussing it accumulated over 1,000 more comments than likes, and even his YouTube community post was met with almost nothing but ridicule. Dr. Witnesser appears to have embraced.
Oh, so like he had Dr. Witnesser thing, rebranded it to, oh wait, no.
His infamy, even promising to not make any brand changes from here on out. Shortly following this announcement,
that's just funny because of the faithful sheriff thing.
He took to TikTok to compare homosexuality to murder twice.
We as a society are promoting. We're promoting this. We are promoting a sin that is equal.
I don't know if it's due to the angle or the lighting, but like he looks more deranged here, right? Like in like his previous like Dr. Witnesser thing, he looked clean, like he had the beard still, but like he looked clean. Yeah, he was fat, but he looked okay. This looks like the guy that lives in like their elderly mother's like basement.
Equal to murder.
Not too soon after, Dr. Witnesser expressed his frustration with being called an N-word.
Sound like Nate, low key.
Yeah, but I'm not a bro, so don't call me one, please.
You're a bro? Ah, wait.
Bro, I thought you weren't swearing. I thought you didn't swear. What the fuck, bro? Why are you doing this? Why you fucking swearing?
I'm white. Don't call me the N-word. I'm not one. As you can see, the word I said was gross.
Though he may have succeeded in gaining notoriety through controversy alone, he failed to generate any long-term interest. In the following months, his uploads slowed from daily to nearly monthly.
Yeah, he was kind of doing like the Frogan thing of like, if I just outrage people, like clearly they'll stay, right? And like they didn't stay. They didn't stay whatsoever. People clipped him and then they moved on.
His uploads may have continued at this trajectory if it were not for the unexpected. On January 16th, 2024,
Oh my god. This angle, not this exact one, but like the beginning of this like clearly like Twitter video or TikTok video. He looks like Tommy C He looks like Tommy C like 10 years ago. Oh my god.
Dr. Winniser announced on TikTok that he had resubmitted his unbanned appeal to Twitch, and that they had accepted it. Typically, when Dr. Winniser is unbanned, he tempers his approach to content creation. Rather than his opinions being the source of the contention, he questioned others and they deliver the opinion that he could passively agree with.
Should biological males be allowed to compete against biological women?
Oh my god. Bro.
Women?
No. Bodies are built differently.
You see, that way he'd be like, guys, I didn't say this. Someone on my stream did.
Male MMA and female mixed together.
Man, that would be tragic. Hasn't that already happened?
Just because you put lipstick on a pig doesn't make it something else. It's still a pig.
Not wrong. Trump or Biden?
Oh, Trump. 100%. I like cheap gas.
Right. Somehow, even his questions on the election.
Oh my god. Remind me what the fucking price of eggs are again, motherfuckers.
Were contentious enough that some of his videos on TikTok were taken down, as seen by this comment where Dr. Winniser demeans the users who reported it by calling them snowflakes. Dr. Winniser was not entirely focused on asking contentious questions. He was still partly attempting to witness in Fortnite.
Do you want to talk about it? Do you got any questions? Maybe you got, some questions about God or the Bible or anything?
You see, he looks okay here. He looks okay here. Shave the beard down a bit, and I've been guilty of that before, where it's just like you let the facial hair grow out, but like instead of getting longer, it just gets wider.
Fighting.
I'm not a bro, okay? So don't call me one.
I got 2 points, bro.
I am a white individual. So I think it's rude
I am a white boy. Please do not call me the N-word, please.
Somebody the N-word, okay?
Dr. Winniser's methods of conversation were as effective as they have always been. Newly added was an even deeper sense of pride to where he glowed about his discoverability.
Track of how many kills you have.
I just know we weren't supposed to listen to you.
I'm Dr. Winniser, buddy.
That's 3.
Can you?
I'm Dr. Winniser, sir. Do you know how popular I am?
Google your name and have it come up with somebody? I don't think so.
Yeah, you can YouTube my name. I got 140,000 views on the video.
I have over
before you say shit.
I have over 1 million views on a video. Watch what you say.
Shut
Do
up,
you have 100 million views on TikTok? I don't think so. This guy has no idea.
Bro, like fucking TikTok views mean shit. What the fuck?
You talking about chat? Who you talking to? Your 3 people?
Okay, bro. Google Dr. Winniser. Go ahead.
How about to Google no Dr. Winniser? You sound like a Dr. Pedophile.
It's fucking fun.
Ask any of your class members that you're in right now, like that are around you, if they've heard of Dr. Winniser.
In case you didn't know, I'm kind of a big deal.
Why?
Just ask them.
No, thank you.
Why not?
The kid's like, nah, you lame.
Does you sound like you're like a pervert or something?
I sound like I'm a pervert.
Although these comments may have been made by those unaware of his infamy, those that knew him well would often deem him a predator in the informal sense of actively seeking out children to prey upon. While the term is not fitting and exaggerated, this title would be one of the few that would get a rise out of him, and so it was weaponized and increased the efficiency of trolls. And though Dr. Winniser started 2024 particularly impassioned through his Twitch unbanning, TwitchTracker.com shows that his interest in streaming only came in short bursts. He'd stream nearly daily for weeks at a time, to then be absent for months on end, perhaps also opting to stream on rival websites such as Kick.com. One of the few things to remain consistent
on Kick. Okay.
was his interest and defense of Dr. Disrespect, the only streamer that he watches, as some commenters would take note of the similarities between Dr. Winniser's name, transitions, and game selection. Dr. Winniser would make it clear that he and his name was not entirely inspired by Dr. Disrespect, claiming that he originally sought the name Winniser, but could not find a version with a prefix that was not already claimed, hence Dr. Winniser. While some took umbrage at the uncanny similarities, the biggest point of contention was his opinions of Dr. Disrespect's recent scandal, namely the one where it was revealed that in private messages several years prior, he had spoken to a minor, which was why he was permanently banned on Twitch. And through Dr. Disrespect's own words, the conversation quote-unquote sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate. Dr. Disrespect claims nothing illegal happened in these messages, though some would come to his defense, claiming that the messages were never made public, thus could have leaned towards innocent banter. This same fact was used against him, as these messages could be far worse than Dr. Disrespect leads on. While he would continue to stream on alternative websites, his contemporaries
No, yeah, no one's willing to like give us the full story on that. We just kind of have to take the word of anyone who like has any information, or like Dr. Disrespect himself, which obviously he's an unreliable narrator, because obviously he'll say anything to save his career, right? But like, I remember when this was originally leaked, it wasn't even a current Twitch employee, it was a former Twitch employee. And I think he did it on, I don't know, I think he had a bet or something going on. I can't remember the exact details as to why he leaked everything, but like, it didn't get leaked till like years later, because the employee was like being like vaguely petty, if I remember correctly.
largely disavowed him and his actions. Dr. Winnesser, as a longtime supporter, argued in favor of Dr. Disrespect, believing he should be forgiven. He, like many of those supporting Dr. Disrespect, argues that the contents of the messages between Dr. Disrespect and the minor perhaps were light banter. He'd also equate Dr. Disrespect's infidelity to lying, as under God's eyes, they are both still sins. Separately, and around this time, up-and-coming streamer Sketch was revealed to have been
Oh, the fucking Sketch. Is he still around? I have not heard from about Sketch in like a little bit now.
Involved in homosexual pornography. While Sketch showed himself to be greatly stressed from his history leaking, he received a great deal of support from his community and contemporary streamers. This greatly perplexed Dr. Winnesser.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing, right? Dude was low on money. He did porn. I guess he made decent money from it. And now he's a full-time streamer, or was at the very least a full-time streamer. Nothing too bad.
All right, well, here's the thing. This is what I don't get about the whole Sketch situation, is God says that what he did is an abomination. Like you said, he turned from his ways, and he said he was sorry, right? But still, what he did was heinous and an abomination in God's eyes, right? And everybody's all like, oh, it's okay, it's all right, who cares? It's not a big deal. But then when Dr. Disrespect, supposedly, because we don't know what he said in the text,
bro. Of course, he's comparing to Dr. Disrespect, bro. The F.
Know what these Twitch employees say, quote unquote, texted a minor inappropriately, okay? But according to him, it was just, yes, he was whispering a minor, and sometimes it would lead in the direction of being inappropriate.
But this took longer than I thought it would. I am unfortunately gonna cut the stream short here. I have to try at the very least and be a responsible adult. And I have to go into work tomorrow. I do end work early though, so I'm definitely going to get on live stream tomorrow and finish this out. But before we go, I do want to thank all the lovely members of this channel. First off, we gotta thank Pigeon Salad for bringing the Super Nerd 3, which is like the $10 tier for fucking 30 months, dude. Thank you so much, Pitchy, for your support. And then we have the $1 tiers. We have Idiot King. We have Daniel J, Weird Collar Guy, Barrel, Cool Anime Girls, Wookie Z, Kicking the Swede, Lady Nerd Artist, K-Huck, and Manic. Thank you guys all for being supporters of the channel. It is greatly appreciated. You guys are amazing.